Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody now. All right, so still taking our nice deep breaths. And if you're comfortable to lay your legs long for your body scan, try that, because we're going to start just quickly going through the top of our body, and then we'll get to our hips and legs and do a little more focus there. So as you're taking this first nice deep breath, just bring your awareness to your neck and your shoulders and notice how they feel today. And notice if you feel like one shoulder blade is heavier or lighter than the other. If you have any tension between your shoulder blades. And then bring your awareness down through your torso and into your belly and your back. Notice how your low back feels today on the floor. Do you feel tension there? And then moving from your low back and from your back into your low back and your pelvis. And just notice how that part of your body is feeling today. Take another deep breath here. Really bringing your awareness to your pelvis and your low back. And moving down just a little bit and into your hip joints. And how do your legs feel in your hip joints today? And how does your pelvis feel? And now just very gently roll your feet outwards, slowly. And then nice and slowly roll them inwards again. And then roll both of your feet to the right. And slowly bring them to center. And then rolling both feet to the left and slowly bringing them back to center. And when you've finished that, bring your awareness to your whole leg and just notice how your legs are feeling, how your knees are feeling, your hips. And then go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet to standing. We're going to start with our flatten again today. So staying nice and relaxed, starting with an inhale. And exhale, flattening your back to the floor, bringing your pubic bone and ribs towards each other, squeezing gently in your abdominal muscles, holding for a moment. And now nice and slow and controlled, releasing in your abdominals. As slow and smooth as you can. And at the very end of that release, you're going to go right into tilt, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor, arching your low back just gently off the floor, holding for a moment, and super slowly releasing that contraction. Now slowly releasing in your back and your hips. Slow and smooth. And at the end of that release, going right into flatten again, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, flattening your back to the floor, tightening in your tummy. And then super slow release. Slowly with control, releasing in your tummy muscles. As slow and smooth as you can. And then going into your tilt again, rolling your tailbone forward and down to the floor, arching your low back gently. Holding for just a moment. Exhale now as you super slowly release the contraction in your back. Slowly letting your hips come back to neutral. And then going right into flatten again. Bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other as you flatten your back to the floor. Holding for just a moment. And then super slowly releasing. At the end of this release, as you go into tilt again, you're going to add your arms by rolling your arms open so your palms are facing the ceiling. So inhale now, arch, rolling your tailbone forward and down, palms facing up to the ceiling, which will be just gently pressing your shoulder blades into the floor a little bit more. Exhale now as you slowly release the tilt in your back, slowly rolling the hands back over to palms facing down. And when you finish that release, going into flatten again, this time as you do your flatten, you're going to roll your arms in towards your body so the back of your hands are against your body. Holding for just a moment, and then super, super slow release. Slowly, with control, releasing in your abdominals, slowly letting your arms roll back to palms down. And at the end of that release, going into tilt one more time, rolling the tailbone forward, rolling your hands over so that your palms are facing up to the ceiling. Shoulder blades are pressed gently. Hold for a moment. Exhale as you slowly release. In your back and your hips, slowly rolling your hands back to palms down. And then flattening one more time. Bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, rolling your arms in towards your body, holding for just a moment. And now super, super slow and smooth, releasing the contraction in your chest and in your tummy. Slowly letting your arms come back to their neutral rested position. And at the end of that release, take just a moment to rest. Good. And now go ahead and lay your legs long again, please. And we're going to start today with the invert and lift. Some of you that were in class on Friday did this one. So we're going to start with the right leg. What you're going to be doing is letting your right knee fall open to the side as your foot scoops just slightly upwards and slides up to your knee. So your right foot is coming up to the left knee. And then slowly, you're going to draw that foot back down along the floor or along your legs. Some people will lift it right up onto their other leg, and you may be more comfortable to leave it on the floor beside. So super slow and smooth, drawing that foot back down along the floor or your leg, back down to its long lengthened position. And then take a moment to rest. And now I invite you to switch and try it the other way. So if you had your foot drawing, no, not the other foot, sorry. I mean, if you were drawing it along the floor the first time, this time scoop it up and draw it up along the shin of your opposite leg until it reaches your knee. And then slowly and smoothly draw it back down again. Remember to really focus on the slow smoothness of this movement. How smooth and slow can you do it? Once your leg is long again, take a moment to rest. Now we're going to switch to the other leg. So if you did the first one along the floor on the other side, do the same on this one. So now your right foot, hang on, is drawing up and then slow and smooth, bringing it back down. I don't know if we're all on the same leg right now or not, but you guys know you're supposed to be doing the opposite one. So nice and slow, drawing the foot back down and making sure to rest when you finish that one. And then repeating and doing it the way you did the second one on the other side. So if your foot this time is to draw up along your shin, up towards the knee, and then slowly taking it back down. Slow and smooth. And when you finish that one, make sure to rest. And the next one we're going to be doing is the everton lift. So let's all start with the right foot this time. So now your foot is going to be going out to the side of you and your knee will be coming inwards into that knock-knee position. So right foot along the floor still, going out and then sort of slides up along the floor, only to where it's comfortable. And your knee may be up in the air when you do this one. So make sure you stay in your comfort, wherever your knee is going. Your knee should be inwards towards your other knee. That's it. And then nice and slow, drawing that foot along the floor again, slow and smooth, taking it back down till your legs are long. And resting for a moment, and then repeating again on that same side. So the foot is everting. The sole of the foot is turning outwards from your body. As you draw the foot upwards, the knee is coming in towards your other knee. Remember to stay in your comfort zone. And nice and slow and smooth. Now drawing that foot along the floor, back down to the legs long position. And take a moment to rest. And then we'll switch to the other side. So everting now your left foot, turning the sole of your foot outwards and drawing it up. The knee is coming in slightly. And then nice and slow and smooth, drawing the foot back down. And making sure to rest in between. And doing one more of those on that same side, everting the foot, turning the sole of the foot out. And slowly drawing it back down. And when both legs are long again, take just a moment to rest. And the next movement we're going to be doing is the clam. So this time, turning the soles of your feet towards each other, your knees will begin to slowly come out to the sides. And now you're going to draw your feet up along the floor towards your buttocks. Again, remember to stay in your comfort Oh yes, and if you have a yoga mat underneath of you, you may want to just let it slide up like Natalka's doing. That's genius. Good thinking. When you've gone as far as you can go comfortable, super slow and smooth now. Pushing your feet along the floor, back down to legs long. And then nice and slow, going into clam one more time. Sorry, the going into it does not need to be as slow as the coming out of it. Of course, this is up to you though. Stay in your comfort zone. If it feels good to do it slow, then do it slow. Once your feet are up as far as you can go comfortably, then nice and slow, lengthening them again, pushing them along the floor, back down to legs long. Good, and take just a moment to rest and repeat that one more time. Bringing the feet along the floor, up towards your buttocks, knees are out to the sides in the clam position. And then slow and smooth, drawing the feet back down to legs long. The next movement we're going to do is the knock knees. So for this one, feet will be turning outwards. So everting the soles of your feet outwards as your knees come together. You're drawing the feet up again, more towards your armpits this time. Staying in your comfort zone. And nice and slow, drawing them back down. Slow and smooth. Resting for just a moment when you've reached that neutral position, and then repeating one more time. Everting the feet, knees come together as feet slowly begin to slide up along the floor towards your armpits. Pausing, and then super slowly drawing those feet back down. Slow and smooth. And now this time when your feet get to the long neutral position, pause for a moment, and then you're going to go back into clam. So inverting the feet, soles together now, drawing them up towards the buttocks, knees go out into the clam, then slowly drawing your feet back down. And this time at the very end of the clam, you're going to go right into knocked knees. So no pausing in between this time. So once your legs are long, you're going to evert your feet, knees coming together, back to your knock-knee position. Remember, it doesn't matter how far up your feet go. What matters most is the slow, smooth release of each of these movements. At the end of your knock-knee, you're going to go straight back into clam again. So once your legs are long, turning your feet inward so the sole of your feet are touching and drawing the feet up again. Nice and slow and smooth. Drawing the feet back down, legs long, and at the end of this one, repeating again, going right into your knock-knee position. So everting the feet, turning the soles outwards, knees come together, drawing the feet up towards your armpits, and then nice and slow and smooth, taking those feet back down along the floor. And at the end of this one, you'll one more time do your clam. So at the very end of your knock-knee release, the soles of the feet come together, drawing the feet up towards your buttocks, and then slowly straightening them. When you're finished releasing this clam and your legs are long, take a moment to rest. The next movement we're going to do is the skiing movement. So we're going to start this one by bringing both of our feet up to the left and your knees will be going to the right. So you're going to be turning your pelvis slightly as your knees drop down towards the right and you slide your feet up towards your buttocks. And then slowly with control, straightening the legs now. And as soon as they're straight, you're going to go into the opposite side without pausing in between. So legs are going slowly back to long and then shifting knees and feet opposite way as you draw the feet now up to the right and your knees are to the left. Slowly straightening the legs again. Slow and smooth. And I'm just going to let you go ahead at your own pace and move between these movements. I'd like you to do at least 2 more to each side. So when your legs are straight, switching again. Remember that the important place to have that slowness is in the release. So as your feet are coming back down, nice and slow and smooth. And as you continue to finish your last ones, really bring your awareness to your hips and pelvis and your legs as you're doing this movement. Really watching and paying attention for any spots where you feel that bumpy or glitchy release happening and working to smooth it out. And when you've finished your last one with legs long, take just a moment to rest. Now we're going to go back to our invert and lift, the first movement that we did, only we're going to change it slightly. This time, as you turn your right foot inwards again, so the sole of your right foot turning in, this time I want you to bring it up off the floor slightly. And now draw it up towards your knee and super slowly taking it back down again. If it's easier for you or more comfortable for you to have it on your leg or the floor, go ahead and do that. If you're comfortable with it slightly off the floor, give that a try. When your leg is long and straight again, take a moment to rest. And then we're going to switch to the other foot. So now your left foot turning inwards and scooping up off the floor just a little bit. And then slowly taking it back down. Nice and slow and smooth. When both legs are long, take a moment to rest. Now we're going to evert the foot and try the same thing. So going back to the right foot, turning it outwards, knee coming in and scoop it off the floor just a tiny bit. And then most likely for this one, I believe you're going to have to keep it along the floor now to take it back down long. You can try it with your foot off the floor, but make sure you're still in comfort. Personally, for me, I would keep it along the floor. And when that leg is back to long and straight, switching to the other side. So everting your left foot, knee coming in, scooping off the floor just slightly, and then slowly drawing it back down. Good, and when you finish that one, take a moment to rest. And now we're gonna roll over onto our bellies. So nice and slow, rolling to your belly. And once you're rolled over onto your belly, you're going to be turning your head to the right. Your left arm is going to stay long beside your body. And your right arm is going to be bent up beside your face. And you'll be resting your cheek on the back of your hand. And you'll be looking towards your right elbow. So left arm is long beside you. Head is turned to the right. Right arm is up. Face is resting on the back of your hand. So we're going to do our look over the shoulder movement. I like to do this one on an exhale, so staying relaxed, you're going to inhale first. And now as you exhale, lifting your head, chest, and elbow, and also lengthening and lifting your opposite leg. So it should be your left leg. Looking gently over the shoulder, and then nice and slow, lowering everything all together. Slowly lowering your head and elbow and chest, and slowly lowering the leg. When everything is back to the floor, rest. And now as we repeat that one again, I want everybody to make this one smaller. So inhale first as you're relaxed. And now exhale, gently lifting head, chest, and elbow, lengthening and lifting left leg just a little bit, holding for just a moment, and now super slowly releasing, slowly lowering your head, chest, and elbow, and slowly lowering your leg back down to the floor. And resting for a moment, and we'll repeat that one more time. Inhale first. And exhale, lifting your head, chest, and elbow, and lengthening the opposite leg, and just gently looking over your shoulder. Think of bringing your elbow to the ceiling just a little bit so that you get a little bit of a twist, just a small amount, and then super slowly lowering. Slowly lowering your head, chest, and elbow, and slowly lowering your leg. Make sure to rest. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to bring your right arm down beside your body as your left arm comes up, and turning your head towards the left elbow now. Inhale first as you stay relaxed. And exhale, lifting head, chest, and elbow, lengthening and lifting the right leg as you gently look over the left shoulder. Again, think of bringing your elbow just slightly to the ceiling. Hold for a moment and super slowly begin to lower. Nice and slow and smooth. Lowering everything back down to the floor. And rest. Repeating again, and this one you're going to make smaller. Inhale first as you stay relaxed. And exhale, lifting head, chest, and elbow, lengthening and lifting the right leg. Only just a little bit this time, holding for a moment. And nice and slow and smooth, lowering everything back down to the floor. Slowly and as controlled as you can. Making sure to rest. And repeating that one again. Inhale first. Exhale as you lift your head, chest, and elbow, lengthening the right leg and gently looking over your left shoulder, holding for just a moment. And super, super slowly lowering everything back down to the floor. As slow and smooth as you can. And take a moment to rest. And when you're ready, you're going to roll back over onto your back, and this time with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. We're going to go into an arch and curl, and we're going to do a couple diagonals first. So this time you're going to have your right arm behind your head and your left arm long beside your body. And for anybody that has any shoulder issues, if you're uncomfortable with the hand behind your head, you can certainly do it with both hands just laying beside your body. So we're going to start with our inhale and arch first. Inhale and arch, rolling the tailbone forward and down to the floor. Pressing the shoulder blades down, and turn your head to the right just slightly. Hold for just a moment, and now exhale, slowly releasing the contraction in your back and your hips. Slowly releasing in your shoulders. At the end of that release, going right into flatten, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, and lifting your head, chest, and your right elbow, bringing your right elbow to your left knee. And you can also bring your left knee towards the right elbow. Hold for a moment. Now super slowly lowering your foot back down to the floor, and slowly lowering your head and your chest. As slow and smooth as you can. Once your head and chest is back down to the floor, Slowly opening the elbow. Take just a moment to rest. And then you're going to switch so that your other arm will be behind your head. So now your left arm will be behind your head. Your right arm will be long beside your body. And inhale and arch again. Pressing the shoulder blade down. Turning your head gently to the left. Exhale now as you slowly release the contraction in your back. Slow and smooth. At the end of that release, going right into flatten. Bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, lifting head and chest, and now bringing your left elbow and right knee towards each other. Then nice and slow release. Slowly lowering head and chest, slowly lowering your foot. Slow and smooth. And slowly bringing your elbow back down. And when you've finished that one, you're going to bring your other hand up behind your head now so that both hands are behind your head. Then starting with our inhale and arch again. Inhale and arch, rolling your tailbone forward and down. Press your shoulder blades down and think of drawing them towards your tailbone and tilt your head back. Hold for just a moment and now exhale as you super slow and smooth release the contraction in your back. Slowly releasing in your shoulders and your neck. And at the very end of that release, going into flatten as you bring pubic bone and ribs towards each other. Bring your elbows together and gently lift your head and chest into that curled position. You can lift your feet off the floor too if you want to, and if you're still in your comfort zone. And then nice and slow, lowering your head and chest, and slowly lowering your feet if you've lifted them. When your head is back down to the floor, slowly opening the elbows. And then we're going to repeat that one again. Inhale and arch, rolling your tailbone forward and down, pressing your shoulder blades down and drawing them towards your tailbone, tilting your head back. Exhale now as you slowly release the contraction in your back, as slow and smooth as you can. And at the end of that release, going right into your flatten, bringing pubic bone and ribs towards each other, bring your elbows together and lift your head and chest. Hold for just a moment and then nice and slow lowering your head and chest and your feet if you've lifted them. And then super slow and smooth, opening the elbows. And once your elbows are resting on the floor, and go ahead and lay your legs long again and go back into our body scan position. So wherever you had your arms at the beginning of class today, lay them there. If you had your legs long, lay them long again. And nice deep breaths. Bring your awareness to your neck and shoulders first. Notice how your shoulder blades feel now compared to how they felt at the beginning of class today. And then bring your awareness down through your torso to your back. Notice how your back feels now compared to when we started, and specifically into your low back and your hips. Bye, Courtney. And notice how your low back feels now compared to when we started. And now turning both of your feet gently outwards. So legs stay long and your feet are just turning outwards slightly, and then slowly bringing them back to center. And just comparing and noting any differences in this movement now compared to when we started. And then turning both your feet inwards, just slightly, and then slowly releasing that. And then slowly now turning both your feet to the right and bringing them back to center. And then turning both your feet to the left and bringing them back to center. And now just take another moment, taking a few breaths, noticing how relaxed and calm you feel right now. And then when you're ready, rolling to your side, coming up to sitting. And we have about 2